All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Project Review Committee for March 8th, 2023. We're gonna go ahead and start today's PRC meeting at 1:38 p.m. We're gonna go ahead and start with staff roll call here. My name is Oscar Cepeda, the Associate Planner within the Planning Division. We're also joined by Rocio Mejia, our Assistant Planner. We're also joined by Claudia Calderon, our Economic Development Manager. We're joined by Javier Sanchez, the Engineering and Project Management Director. We're also joined by Sarah Weaver, the Project Manager. We're also joined by James Wickersham, our Chief Building Official. We're joined by Robert Alvarez here with the Water Division. We're also joined by Clayton Dignam, our Fire Marshal with the Fire Department. That's everybody here for staff. Oh yeah, and also Jeff O'Neill, our City Planner. Sorry, Jeff. So yeah. At this time, we're gonna go ahead and open it up for oral communications. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the committee on any matter pertaining to project review. Hello, Chris. Did you mention something?
No,
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna try to mute myself.
All right, hearing no comments from the public, we're gonna go ahead and close oral communications. Okay, so for today's PRC agenda, we have one item, which is PRC number 2023-009 for the Navigation Center expansion. We'll go ahead and share my screen here in order to share the project. So the project proposes the expansion of the existing navigation center and improvements, which would include the installation of 7 modular units with dimensions of 39.5 by 23.5 to the existing development. The subject site is located at 140 South C Street and is currently zoned downtown public and semi-public, with the general plan land use designation of education. We're gonna go ahead and start with planning's comments pertaining to the modulars themselves. Make sure that they comply with our downtown design guidelines related to, you know, the facade elevations or materials and colors. Other than that, the buildings do meet setback requirements for the zone district. Lot coverage is not going to be exceeded by the proposed project. Any public improvements may be required dependent on the evaluation of the project, which may include street trees, street lights, street furniture, for example. But as far as any other comments from planning, they're pretty standard. So that's going to be pretty much all from planning. Comply with our development ordinance, which looks like what's shown here at this preliminary stage does meet that. So with that, we're going to go ahead and hand it off over to the engineering division with Javier.
So for engineering, let's see, ramps. We just look to see if those curb ramps at the corner are compliant. And yeah, we'll have to look at a final valuation, as Oscar mentioned, to see what that might trigger on street lights. And because it's a downtown district, it'd be the decorative type. And then besides that, I know all the buildings are expected to get a. Is it one master service in each, or they'll be all individual served? Please. Usually it's just one big service and we'll branch off it.
Likely two, because we'll consider its own fire service and then.
Yeah,
It- Just quickly, Robert, is there a preference for your guys' department? For the water service,
Well, it looks like you have the water service coming off of, what is that, Walnut? I'd have to speak with Mike and see what his thoughts are on that.
sounds good.
Yeah, but besides that, all the curb gutter and sidewalks in. So that helps. So that's all the engineering with that.
All right, thank you, Javier. Next with our fire department with Clayton.
Hydrants spacing to meet the city code regarding that. Fire sprinklers for the our occupancies with a monitoring system. Fire extinguishers to be placed accordingly. We also do want to look at potentially starting NOx access for the site based on the expansion and the size. And everything else, and then some of the structures that won't be occupied 24 hours a day, just making sure that we have access to them. So then we can discuss the accessibility portion of that for NOx. But so basic things that were included in the previous project adjacent to this one.
All right, thank you, Clayton. Next with our building division with James.
Yeah, so all the modules coming in will need to have an accessible restroom. It looks like on paper there's accessible routes to each one. But if any ramps need to be built, they need to meet accessibility. For all around. I know you mentioned during pre-PRC that the showers are pushed off for now.
It would be a separate place.
Yeah.
Yes.
As Clayton also mentioned too, for area of refuse, the gates leading out to the public way would have to swing outward and have panic hardware on them. And that's all I can think of now. Clayton mentioned fire sprinklers already.
We
Yeah.
intend to spend all 7.
Including the kitchen area. Oh,
The
yeah.
dining area, yeah.
Dining area. So there's not gonna be a kitchen in there?
No.
Okay,
So
so,
the intent is to use it to set up for dining, like people just to eat in
right,
and to gather for warming and cooling situations. Because of that, we want to make sure that it's fully set.
yeah, that would give you the ability to expand it on cold nights and actually put cots in there or something, yeah, that's a good idea. But so there's not gonna be any commercial kitchen or cooking on site.
Sounds good. Any other comments from the water division, Robert?
Just taking a look at it, as far as field service is concerned, I think it looks like they have 2 bins out there for refuse. For this qualifies for the 3 bins, possibly an enclosure needed. Water, looks like they have a backflow. I'm not sure exactly if they're gonna need additional facilities, but we want to get a backflow device on water services, fire sprinkler systems, and a separate meter for any landscaping.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
So you said one triple bin?
Possibly. Yeah,
Mm.
right, Robert, one triple bin enclosure?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay, that is all comments from staff. Again, we'll provide any additional comments to the applicant related to the project if any new information arises. So far, unless there's any other questions or for staff. Okay, sounds good. We'll be, of course, providing a letter outlining these comments to the applicant from every department. And we're gonna go ahead, if there's not any other questions or comments for staff and the applicant, we're gonna go ahead, or any members of the public. We could go ahead and close today's PRC meeting at 1:49 PM. Thank you, everybody. And Jeff, if you could